All right, on today's Vast Motorsports, I'm over here at Terry's and we're going to do a starter on a 2015 Kia Optima. This is the 4-cylinder and the starter went bad on it, just click, click, click. So he went and picked up a starter and we're switching it out today. I'm going to show you some of the basics on it. It's a pretty simple starter to do if you got basic hand tools. And I've already got it off. I didn't think to make the video until I have it off, but now I'm going to show you how to put it back on so you'll get an idea. Let me show you what needs to come off. So go ahead and pull your top cover off. It just snaps off. Undo your air duct and stuff here. You're going to have to undo the throttle body. It's got 4 bolts. Unplug it, move it over out of the way because the starter bolts are going to be back here to access them. You can see one there and one there. I've already pulled the starter out and attached it. Some people undo the intake. You're better off not undoing it. That way you don't have to replace the gasket or anything or take a chance on any dirt getting in there. There is a bracket down here on the bottom. It's got 4 bolts. That is a brace that kind of braces the intake to the block of the engine. You need to take that off and take your fans out. Now a lot of people are taking the upper hose off to get it out of the way. You don't really have to do that. You don't want to lose any coolant. Just pull it back with a tie strap, or like a bungee or something to get it out of the way. And the fan is pretty simple. Just got 2 bolts up top here, 2 10s on the top side, and then you've got the hooks on the bottom. It just slides down in the holder there on the bottom here. But let me show you what we got going on here. All right, so we've already got the new starter. I've already put the wire on, and then you just plug the solenoid wire in that activates it. I'm going to fish it back up in here very carefully. Might have to spit on that thing, get it up in there. Now, I don't know if you could see that or not on the camera, but can you see the starter right here? It's just going in like this. Make sure it's seated. Then you've got your 2 bolts. Just kind of support the starter up while you're getting these bolts started. Sometimes you even back it away a little so you can get it lined up with the hole there. Try to get it started a little bit threaded in there. Alright, got penetration on that one. And then the bottom one, like I said, you might have to wiggle her around a little bit, give her some jiggles. That one's threading in a little better. Now, you know, it's a new starter, so sometimes them threads ain't the cleanest. Alright. I happen to have a ratchet wrench. You can use pretty much whatever you got. So I'm going to run this one in and get it snug. And I just got that one snug. And that way I can get the top one run in. Then I'll tighten it real good and then tighten the bottom one again. Alright, now I'm going to snug it good. Take my ratchet, make sure they're really good and tight. Torque it to that many foot-pounds. Alright, so that's the starter install. Now on your throttle body, always make sure that this gasket is nice and sticking out, that it's plump, we'll call it. You don't want it to be flat. If it is, go get you a new one. Make sure your surface here is clean before you put it back on. Looking good there, looking good. Just take your 410 millimeters, get them started. Always get all 4 of them started before you tighten any of them down. Had the feel for that one, couldn't see it. Just gonna snug them good in a cross pattern, across from each other. These don't have to be really tight, just snug them good. Don't try to break them off or nothing. Or strip the intake part. It's got just an insert in the plastic intake and you don't want to strip that. Make sure you plug it back in here, don't forget that. Oh yeah, it goes in this way. Make sure it clicks into place. You don't want that coming loose when you're going down the road one day. Next, we're going to fish this fan back in here. Just put it in and tilt it like this under the hose. The way you don't have to undo that top hose. Now you might have to do a little finagling. Sure you get the bottoms clipped in on both sides. She is. And we're going to put our 10s back here again. Got one on each side here at the top. Midway up top anyway. Give it a good little snug. You don't want to break them off, but you don't want them coming loose when that fan's running and vibrates over time. I just had the connectors kind of pushed over out of the way here. Connect this module back in for the fan. Make sure to click. All right, now we can let this hose back down. We have a 10 up top here. And we're going to put our air duct back on. Now this one has a couple tubes back here, but I didn't undo them because all I did was laid it over the side. We just needed enough access to get down here. So we're just gonna, we do have this one that's gonna go on this nipple here, but just go ahead and get the back started here. Tilt it down. Push this end onto the throttle body. Get our little hose back on the nipple there. Get the clamp back on. Tighten these hoses back up, or the boots anyway. 10 millimeter on those. Nothing extreme. Just tighten them up. Actually, let me make sure that hose is all the way. There we go. All right. Got our little breather piece. It just clips on over here more or less. Just pushes on the boot, drop it down. You got 2 10s up here. I'll tell you, I did watch that video you sent me just for the hell of it, because of course I'd never messed with one of these. I wanted to get the idea. That guy said it did take him an hour and a half.
Yeah.
I don't think this did for me, thank God.
Well, you put it back on in about 10 minutes.
I got better tools than most people do.
Put it back on about 10 minutes.
Then we're just going to drop our piece on here. Make sure you got it lined up. Push. I think that one. All right, reach in there and give it a try. Let's see if she starts up. Oh yeah, there we go. Success. Does that sound better?
Hell yeah. I can work now.
Yeah, right. All right, so that's your little episode on today's Vast Motorsports. Like I said, I wish I would have thought to do it from the start, taking it apart, but I forgot, just wasn't thinking about it. So as you can see, it's really not that difficult of a job. All right, so if you like what you've seen today, maybe you learned a little something. I'm hoping I saved you some time, because I did watch a couple other videos before I did this, because I've never touched one of these Kias, and I always like to get an idea, especially since I had to go do it in a apartment complex parking lot for my buddy Terry, and I wanted to make sure I had everything I needed. And anyway, if I saved you some time there, I guarantee it was a lot quicker and easier than any of the videos that I've seen. So because it looks like some of them are taking an hour, hour and a half. I didn't spend 25-30 minutes the very most. So if you learned a little something, you like what you've seen, how about give me a thumbs up, please. Hope you subscribe to the channel if you're already not a subscriber, and maybe even leave a comment. That way it helps the algorithm of my channel try to grow. I'm trying to get this little channel to grow, y'all. All right, so again, y'all have a blessed day. Me and Jasper are out.